All right, Ricky here, breaking your barriers with our segment of hanging out with local heroes. Now, today is a very special day. Not only do we have a local hero, he's also my friend. And this friend of mine, there's only one way I can describe him. Number one, he's funny as hell. Number two, he is definitely somebody who has gone through ridiculous adversity. And if you want me to put it in plain English, this man has gone through some shit. Straight up. That's the only way I could say it. Other than that, he's a great guy. He's going to share some of his stories. He's going to introduce himself, and you're going to get to hear his story. And hopefully by the end of this interview, not only are you inspired, you have a different perception of your own life. Now, with that said, it gives me great pleasure to introduce my buddy, my main man, Scott Friedman. Scott, go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy, and take it away.
My name is Scott Friedman. Is that enough of an introduction?
That's perfect. Now, I know, Scott, you've got a crazy amount of stories in your life that you can definitely throw our way. But I want you to share your favorite story of overcoming any kind of adversity. So feel free. The stage is yours, my friend.
Thank you. Most of the crazy stories I have are about overcoming my personal adversity, what's in my head, the negative thoughts. I've gone through cancer, I've had strokes, I've had TIAs, kind of have a few things going on. So one of my favorite stories is about a journey that I went on prior to all of these adversities. I wanted to go to a cave. I used to do a lot of cave cliff high angle rescue.
Wow.
And when I heard about a particular cave that was not too far away, I told my friends on the rescue squad I wanted to go there. A year or so later, they finally felt I was ready. Even though I had practiced every weekend, I had gone on many rescues with them, they finally felt I was ready. When we enter the cave, which you can only get to after about an hour hike, there's this little tiny ledge inside the cave.
Wow.
And my friend turns to me to remind me, if you walk in front of me, you will die. If you walk past me, you will die. It's a story that I've heard almost every weekend for a full year. I heard it again on the trip to the cave. I heard it again in the cave. My friend ties a rope to two sides of a boulder, puts on his safety line, and then attaches the rope to the other side of the boulder. So we have three hooks holding one rope. He then ties a knot in the loose end of the rope and throws it over the edge. And I hear nothing. And I continue to hear nothing. And then the rope hits the bottom 582 feet below. And I asked my friend, what is it that I can hold on to? He said, just the rope. There's nothing else that you can touch. It's literally a cliff with nothing under it, nothing beside it, nothing next to it.
Wow.
582 feet down to the bottom. Well, you can imagine when I got on the rope and I look over the ledge, the negative thoughts started hitting me fast and furious. What if the rope breaks?
Right.
What if the boulder falls and I fall with it and then it lands on me? All kinds of negative thoughts. What if I hit the ground too fast? What if, what if, what if? I get to the bottom and we go through the usual high five. You made it. Congratulations. And then it's time to go up. My friend checks on me, makes sure that everything's hooked up properly. And then I start climbing. The only difference between the negative thoughts coming down and the negative thoughts going up is it took 3 times longer to get to the top. Yeah, exactly. So the negative thoughts were hitting me before my cancer, before the strokes, but they continued long after. No matter where I go, no matter what I do, there are negative thoughts. And I thought this might be something similar to what a lot of people experience, even if they haven't gone through what I've gone through or what I'm going through. And then I started a blog talking about overcoming the negative experiences. And I think it was really insightful. It helped a lot of people. It helped me. And that is a story about overcoming negative thoughts, or at least one of the stories.
Right. That's wow. That's the only thing I can say is wow. I'm thinking about that cliff. I would have been scared just being on a cliff that's hanging. You can't even touch the side walls. You can't touch anything behind you.
There's nothing. It's literally, you walk off this ledge, there's nothing.
And all 3 of you guys, how is just 2 of you guys?
There were 3.
Okay.
One stays up on the ledge, 2 go down. That way, if there's a problem, the person that's up can get outside and hopefully call emergency services.
Right.
Which would be part of the problem, because 2 of the people that they would call are down at the bottom.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Scott. That in itself is amazing because most people in their right minds won't even consider doing anything crazy like that. So the first things first, even though you had those negative thoughts, those negative feelings, those feelings of anxiety, you did one of the most important things that people do not do before having any kind of negative thoughts in the first place, which is you made a choice. Instead of backing out, you did it in spite of all the negativity. But you're right about one thing you definitely mentioned, which is even before the cancer, even before the strokes, even before all the things that afflicted you, it started here. Now, for those of you folks who are listening today, if that small tidbit of information doesn't inspire you, you need to listen to it. You need to definitely listen to this message again, because number 1, it's a great story. Number 2, it starts here. All the negativity starts here. You can change that like a flip of a switch.
Another story,
Please.
with the negative thoughts and overcoming them. After my cancer treatments, I went to an eye doctor.
Mm-hmm.
My vision was noticeably getting worse. The doctor does about an hour's worth of tests.
Wow.
And says the only way to correct your vision is to remove your eyes, cut the veins and muscles and everything holding your eyes in place, repositioning them, reconnecting your eyes, and putting them back into your eye sockets. Now, I don't know about you, but I find that a little disturbing. I started thinking again, the negative thoughts. What if my eyes fall out of the surgeon's hands and bounce on the floor? And they're too slippery to pick up. So he grabs a fork or a spork, whatever's nearby, and starts stabbing them so he could pick them up again. I thought about that. What if They take my eyes outside and use them in a ping pong tournament. I didn't like that idea. I had hundreds more negative thoughts coming across my mind. And I asked the doctor, is there any option that doesn't involve taking my eyes out of their sockets and cutting everything connected to them, and then repositioning the eyes in my head? He said, well, you could get an eye patch. Welcome to my $2.99 eye patch. He just could not convince me to get an eye surgery. And I'm having worse eye problems now. This is 2 years later. And I'm thinking, okay, well, the eye patch is still working, but my other eye is noticeably worse. So now what? I'm going to eventually have to get the surgery, which I'm not thrilled about, but I'm going to have to do it anyways. Sometimes we have to do things, even though we have negative thoughts.
Yep.
We got to find a way to overcome those thoughts.
Wow.
And that's really what life's about, overcoming obstacles, whether they are your own personal obstacles, the negative thoughts, or maybe obstacles by other people. We all have a choice. We can go through them, we can go over them, we can go around them, we can go under them. That's it. But the fact is, we have to do something, because doing nothing will leave us in the exact same place.
That is damn right. And what's even crazier, Scott, is the worst thing than the surgery, the worst thing than taking the risk, the worst thing than pushing through any of your fears, your obstacles, your challenges, is regret. That is
Good point.
the biggest and most terrible thing you can ever experience in your life, regret. Next thing you know, all of the I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda come into play. So with regards to what you're doing, Scott, I understand completely. I can't blame you, especially now that I have that picture in my mind, which is burned into my mind now, playing ping pong with your eye. Or a spork. That's terrible. But you can laugh about it.
You have to.
You can laugh about it. Most people, if you're listening, don't take life too seriously. Laugh easier. Learn to laugh at yourself. Learn to accept making mistakes. And if you do, laugh with it. And in my boy Scott's case, it's not his mistake. It's his life. Except he's not sitting there going, woe is me, woe is me. He's getting ready to get fitted for another patch or something. Whatever he's going to do, get another patch, go through surgery, whatever it is going to be, he's going to do it. Now, Scott, I got a question for you, brother. I'm sure most of our guests who are going to be watching this are going to want to know, how the hell do you stay so positive, and what words of wisdom can you impart to our listeners?
I don't really see a positive and negative. There's no value in negative. It won't get you anywhere. It won't do anything for you. It may make you feel safer. Oh, it's not my fault. Somebody else's fault. It's nothing that I did or didn't do. It's what other people did or didn't do. There's no value in it. And I recently came across a quote, which I really like. Unfortunately, I don't know who said it. I know it was in Ronald Reagan's office, but I don't think he said it. And the idea was, you can accomplish anything if you don't mind who gets the credit. And I think that's the first part to understanding we really can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
There is no obstacle, there is no challenge, there is no negativity. We just simply have to do it. And it may take me a little longer than some people to do something because I don't see well. Maybe I don't hear as well as other people. But it doesn't mean that I shouldn't try. It just means I have to try harder to accomplish the same thing. But it's that ingrained thought. There is no benefit to being negative.
Wow. Scott, this is the visual that I can give you without any words. And the reason I say that, and I kid you not, the reason I say that is because I shared that in one of my other talks, and you and I share something very powerfully similar, which is a similar mindset that why would you make negativity a choice? It's not a choice unless you make it a choice. Every obstacle that you go through, every slip, every fall, every crack, every broken bone, metaphorically and physically, is just a step closer to that goal or dream that you're looking to achieve in the first place. So you said it right, and I love that visual that is now in my head, which is negative road, positive road. No, there's only one road, the road that you're traveling towards your goal. You only have two options: keep going or stop. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, you may pause for a few minutes, take a
Uh-huh.
rest break, switch activities,
Right.
but ideally, no matter what it is you're trying to accomplish, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to do this. I need to go back to school. I need to learn a language. Everything imaginable. I want a better job.
Right.
It's going to happen. Avoid the negative. There's no sense thinking about a negative option. You're going to accomplish your goal, and it may take you a little longer than you planned,
Right.
but you can do it. Everybody can do it.
Now, if any of you are wondering or thinking, oh, well, it's because Scott this or that, that's negative. Don't make that a choice. More importantly, my man over here said something really, really ridiculously heavy, which was it takes him longer because of his sight. But there's one thing that Scott has plenty of. He may have failing sight, but he has amazing vision of what it is he wants to accomplish. And that's the reason why I said when bringing this particular hero on, he is an inspiration not only to me. Every time I talk to this guy, he makes me laugh. He's very inspirational, and he just blew my mind today. Negativity, that's just a word, unless you make it a choice. Love that. I love that. Now, Scott, if there's one thing that I would ask you, would you mind leaving us? You've left so much already because it's ridiculously profound. Now, ridiculous is going to be my favorite word for today because that's what you are. You're just ridiculous. That's all I can say, Scott. You're amazing. If you wouldn't mind leaving us with one of your favorite sayings or one of your favorite beliefs or one of your favorite values or all of that, we'd love to hear it.
Well, I definitely believe in that concept that I mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter who gets the credit. Your goals are your goals. It doesn't matter if somebody else takes credit for what you've done,
Right.
because inside, you know that you achieve those goals. It doesn't matter if somebody else claims, well, they made it easier for you, or maybe you're not what they thought you would be if you, again, spoke Spanish or achieved another degree. It doesn't matter. What other people expect is not your problem. Your opportunity is to say, what do I need to do to achieve my goal? And then get there. And your goal may not be a personal thing. It may be a teamwork thing.
That's right.
And even if you make incremental steps, I tried. It didn't work out how I wanted. I'm going to try again. That didn't work out how I wanted. I'll try a third time. Oh, I finally got it. I understand. And once you claim, once you grasp that idea of how to get somewhere, how to do something, how to make accomplishments, how to grow, you can do one of the most important things in the world, which is share that success so somebody else can grow also. That, to me, means more than money. If I can help somebody in some way, it costs me $0 and 0 cents to help that person.
Right.
If I can do something to help them grow, help them overcome some obstacle, and the only thing I ask in return is that they help somebody else, that is the ultimate goal for me.
Wow. Like I told you, Scott, it's improbable, but it's happened again. I love that. And I love your outlook with regards to giving, and all you ask for is them to pay it forward as well. If we continue to do that, one person at a time, this world will be a better place. You'll have more positive people out there. They won't use negativity as a reason. They will just see it as a stepping stone towards their next obstacle. Because our life is basically a crazy ninja course that we have to go through and navigate. But what I love about one thing you said, we have people who helped us, who paved the road for us. But there's one thing me personally, I believe is important. They paved the road for us because they found their way of getting to that objective and that goal. You and I, with regards to me and Scott, as well as listeners, we do not have to only stay on that road. We can pave our own road towards our own different goals. There is ridiculously immense amount of options that we have to choose from. You don't have to take that road. You may have a different journey. Make your own road. Make it rocky, make it smooth, make it underwater, whatever you want to do. But you will get to your goal with whatever road you choose to take if you just will not stop. You just keep pushing forward. And Scott, it's really a blessing for you to be here today. I really appreciate the message you shared. And for the listeners, I hope you share this with your podcast as well, because they're going to need to see this. This is heavy. This is amazing. Other than that, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for being on the show today. And for those of
My
you,
pleasure.
yeah, you're amazing. For those of you who listened today, if you didn't take anything away, you didn't listen to the whole message. You need to listen with your mind and your heart. And with that said, thank you once again for joining us on our segment of hanging out with local heroes. I promise you, Scott is going to be on our next project, because this project has to do with inspiring one person at a time. Until then, we'll see you next time. And Scott, thank you again, brother.
Thank you again, brother.
Bye, Scott.